Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you. And we've got some more Sakazuki matches here. I've got a mirror match just because I know that this matchup is very polarizing and there are a lot of deck lists for Sakazuki. I don't think that there is like a clear-cut like official deck list that I would recommend, because I personally have been going through like 2 to 3, but I really like the one that I've been using as of recent. Just been testing it a lot on the sim, but also against some friends, you know, locally, and having a great time. I think this is like easily the most fun deck that I have like learned to play. It's very challenging because it's not an easy deck to pilot, but it also is just extremely strong with a lot of the removal. And it's I just have a good time. I just have a great time playing it. And I just want to say thank you for a lot of the comments and the feedback on yesterday's video with Bello Betty. A lot of really good matches, or excuse me, a lot of really good comments on the match. And as a whole, I'm just excited to be putting out some more OPO5 content in the future. And as of the recording of this video, I'm pretty certain that as soon as this video goes live, if 5 of you are subscribing to the channel, we will be at 4.5k subs within a year of making videos on YouTube. So just a massive thank you to everybody that has been a part of the journey, and I just cannot say thank you enough. I am just having a great time and loving every single minute of it. But turn 1, we are just going to trash Hina, cycle out some cards, and it looks as though he does the exact same. Trashes Hina, cycles out a little bit. I'm going to go 5 to life, see what happens. He will take that first one, and I'll trash Suru right here. And just a tidbit, you know, that I should be saying for not only this video, but for future videos, is a lot of us have been playing over the sim, but we do make mistakes because, you know, playing on the sim and then having the cards in person, it is different, and there are going to be mistakes made. So just be wary of that. You know, this is all just friends playing against one another, and we're just testing and having some fun. So he does run the 4-cost Kobe though, and ends up KOing my Hina. I'm going to put down Sabo just because I wanted to have a blocker, but also have some attack power on the board. I didn't really have anything else that I was looking to put down at the time, but I go ahead and trash the 7-cost Borsalino as well as the Tashigi here. And my opponent does have some options. He is considering getting rid of the Sabo. Could bottom deck it pretty easily if he wanted to, and it looks as though he's going to do just that. He's going to put down Hina, bringing Sabo down to 1. Houndblaze is going to pump leader up to 8, and then bottom decking the Sabo. I'll go ahead and take the hit, and it looks as though we drew into another Hina, and I will kind of plan out my turn from here. I do have the 7-cost Borsalino. I'll just go 5 into Hina, trying to see if I can extract some value. It looks like we do. We get a Tashigi out of hand, and I'll go Borsalino to get that Hina off the board. I don't want the Hina to be in the trash. I also don't want the Hina to be on the board to attack. And now I'm just going to go ahead and use leader ability to cycle out. I'm trying to keep my trash as visible as possible for everyone, so that it, you know, you can see like some of the cards that we potentially have in there, some of the mindset. And it's kind of hard when the camera is only limited to a certain amount of space, but you know, I work with what I got. But Greater Eruption does bring down Borsalino to 5, and then a 5k attack will bring it down to 4. I was expecting a Borsalino of his own, but he didn't end up having it, so Kuzan into Bartolomeo here. Setting up a bit of a defense. Lucci would go pretty hard if we do have some ways to lower a few of these characters. Getting Kuzan off the board is usually a pretty big priority for me if I have 7-cost Borsalino. I'm like, I don't want to give him the opportunity to get that very easy cost reduction onto Borsalino. So I'm probably thinking to myself, like, okay, what do I have that I'm able to lower, you know, what he's got on board and then get rid of some of it. He is just going to block that Borsellino attack with Rebecca, though. And now, it looks as though we do have the Houndblaze, but do we have a Rebecca? But I'm actually just going to use Ice Age, and then I'm going to use Houndblaze to bottom deck the Kuzan, swinging 8k into life here, bringing Bartolomeo down to 2. I'm like, do you want... I usually, you know, am not going to be getting rid of Bartolomeo here. I just kind of want to scare him a little bit. I'm like, all right, what do you think? What do you think? Should you be blocking here? Now, looking at my hand, I'm just trying to decide what I'm going for. I'm just going to go for Hina and use 2, though, for a Manchery. And now Manchery is going to take a little peek at my trash. I'll return some of the events. I don't really need them, and then I'll pick up Tashigi just to have a couple of 2k or a 2k power in hand. But I end up trashing the Tashigi because I was like, you know what? I don't really need that card at the moment. I'm really just trying to get Manchery on the board as like a distraction to my life, and then going for a bit of what is it? Oh my god. Going for a bit of cycle so I can see some removal. And now he does use the Ice Age Houndblaze to get rid of my Borsellino. Leader is at 8k. We're going to see a 4k going into Manchery. I'm debating whether I want to block with Rebecca or not here. But I just decided to let it go. I'm like, nah, not really worth. And now we'll just see the swing into Hina. I could just let this go, or I could keep the Rebecca alive. It just depends on... Oh, actually, this was at life. Excuse me. I see. So he had the Garp, and he ends up trashing a Borsellino to take care of the Hina. Yeah. But now his board is wide open. So we do have, you know, we do have some capabilities of getting rid of cards, but also, you know, also potentially going for life here because he doesn't have a blocker. But I don't want to let that Garp stay on the board. So I'm just kind of thinking, like, how heavy do I need to swing in order to KO it? Is there a way for me to reduce the Garp enough? Getting Kuzan on board is always nice, but it's not going to do the trick just yet. I'm going to bring Garp down to 4, though, swinging 5 into Bartolomeo. I've got him down to 3 cards in hand, so I don't feel like I'm in that bad of a spot. I like where we're at. It's just how much do I need in order to get rid of the Garp? Or should I even prioritize getting rid of the Garp and just start to go for life or just building a board right here? It looks as though I am just going to play I'm going to trash the brand new. Okay. Yeah, we're going to trash the brand new, playing Suru, lowering this down to 2. And I am just going to play Rob Lucci for the final 4 Dawn. Choosing 3 cards to return. It's looking like it's going to be Manchery, Suru, and brand new, if I'm not mistaken, KOing the Garp here. I actually had a question in chat while I was streaming last night that somebody was asking, you know, what do you prioritize trashing and what do you prioritize cycling and returning from the bottom, or from your trash to the bottom of your deck? A lot of the times with Lucci, at least, and Manchery, what I will be putting back into the bottom of the deck are going to be events or cards that don't meet that 3 to 7 cost range. Just because they're useless sitting in trash, they're basically used for the Rob Lucci and Manchery effect of putting those back down to the bottom of the deck. We are going to see another Ice Age, though, coming down onto Kuzan. It is going to get bottom decked, and leader is going to be 8k yet again. I feel like the Ice Age Houndblaze here has been super rough. We have been trying. By the way, he does use Rebecca to pick back up Bartolomeo, and then doesn't use Rebecca effect. He hard plays the Bartolomeo for 3 Dawn just because he didn't want the blocker rested. This does tell me that his hand is like a whole bunch of nothing. And now I can just move pretty freely and, you know, start working here. I've got Rob Lucci and Kaido being trashed there. Not that Not that it feels good to get rid of Rob Lucci, but because Lucci would have actually went kind of hard here. I'll just go ahead and use Greater Eruption. I'm cycling through just to see if there's maybe some action that I can find. But it's not looking like I'm finding... Oh, actually, maybe I did draw into the Houndblaze. I bring Suru up to 3. I'm just going to attach 2 to Suru here and go 5 to life. He is going to counter out, though, with his own Suru. And now, with no cards in hand, I obviously still have the Sakazuki swing as well as Rob Lucci. We got 5 Dawn to work with. And I do just go ahead and trash the Kobe here, though, cycling out some of the hand. And now 5k and 6k going to be coming down. He does block one of them, but then I can just play the Borsellino. And I'm like, okay, sure. If you do have some form of, you know, ability to get rid of my Borsellino here, which would be like non-existent, you still don't have enough swings to go for game. I look pretty good. I got some counter power in hand as well. And Manchery, I think he's just deciding what Manchery is going to be picking up here. Oh, he chose Rebecca, but he's just got to return 2 cards, I believe. Oh, no, chooses Tashigi. Ooh, interesting. Plays Tashigi. Yep, is going to use the -2 on the Borsellino, and then uses Houndblaze to get rid of that, and now is going to go into the Rob Lucci. I believe this is a 10k into Rob Lucci. I do choose to get out of this. I had 2 2k counters and a 1k. Not that I really needed to, but I just decided, I was like, yeah, I want to go for game with Rob Lucci. It's a good looking card. And he tells me to trash my last card with Greater Eruption, and then we just attach all to leader and pick up the game. Solid match, though. Definitely felt like it could have went either way there towards the end. Just kind of had to play my cards right and feel out some of the end of that match. But at the same place, I didn't want to monopolize all of the Sakazuki games, so I was like, hey, do you guys mind if I record one of your matches? And my man Brian and Kyle here also playing the mirror matchup, and I believe that Brian ended up winning the dice roll, if I'm not mistaken. I honestly don't remember. But I know that while they were playing, they, you know, I try to use the dice not because I need it personally over the board. I use the dice because it's easier for people to see the idea on camera so that they know, you know, so you guys know exactly what's going on with the minus Dawn effects and stuff like that. And he attaches 2 Dawn, Kyle. So stupid. But I don't believe that they use the dice very much here, so I'll just try and keep up with it as much as possible. And we will see a 6k swing going through, and then a brand new picking up Borsellino. Does trash a Kobe as well as another Borsellino, so it gets Kobe in trash, which is nice. That's always useful for Rebecca effect. But 5k swing goes through, and then playing Kuzan, trashing 10 cost Kuzan. 10 cost Kuzan is ends up being a really interesting card in this match, if I remember correctly. And now we are going to see 1 for Suru, and then we're going to see 2 for Houndblaze, bringing up brand new to 6, bottom decking that Kuzan. So brand new is going to attack for 6, and then more than likely we'll see like 7 for leader, or potentially just 5 and playing another brand new. Yeah, but we will see the 6k coming through. Suru's just going to get pitched pretty quickly here. We are just going to see the 7, though, and that's, yeah, definitely going to be taking that. And now passing it over. It looks as though Kyle on the right has drawn into quite a few of those 4-cost Kuzans, and is trying to get to that late game, because that 10-cost Kuzan will go pretty hard. But 7k swing and a 7k swing and a 4-cost Kuzan. It does beg the question, like, can Brian on the left end up having some options here? There is the Rebecca. If he does swing like 5 with lead, bringing Kuzan down to 3, Rebecca could bring back Kobe, so might be a potential play that we see. But trashing that starter deck 8 Kobe to get out of a 5k, and it looks as though Rebecca is going to do just that, going to bring back Kobe, and He's just got to choose a card to trash. Ends up being a 2K counter, getting Tashigi out of there. And then with the remaining 3 Dawn, we're going to see another brand new. It's the attack of the brand news. Getting all of them down, using them correctly, getting that good old Ice Age for some of the bigger cards in those later turns. I mean, the nice thing about playing against Sakazuki is you don't have to worry about too many, like, larger cards. It's usually speaking just, like, I don't know, I would say 10 cost, potentially 10 cost Kaido, 7 cost Borsellino, and then, like, your 5 costs, like, Sabos, Garps, stuff like that. But 5k swing into Kobe does get countered, and then he is going to use the Garp effect to trash a Rebecca, KOing his opponent's Rebecca. Just didn't want to have to deal with the blocker. And now we are going to see a greater eruption going down onto Garp, bringing it down to 3. 2 more Dawn to be rested, bringing out yet again another brand new. Unfortunately whiffs this one, ends up trashing 3k worlds and 2 other cards I didn't get to see at the moment, you know, but another greater eruption. I believe this one was going on to Garp, if I'm not mistaken. Might be on Bartolomeo if he swings 5 into Garp. He could potentially have like Rob Lucci in hand or something, but or not 5 into Garp, 5 into lead, lowering Garp. Yeah, but cycles out the Dracul Mihawk. Kind of hate to see that, simply because it would have been nice to play on curve, getting rid of the Garp here, but I'm assuming that he probably ended up drawing that from some of the greater eruptions, and now will trash a few cards, picks up Borsellino blocker right there. But with 3 Dawn left, is probably just going to go like a 6k and maybe a 7k into life here. Might be like a 5k, or excuse me, a 6k into life, or a 5k 7k potential. But yeah, it looks like we'll just see 6 into life. Counters out with Bartolomeo, and then another 6 into life. Counters out with Suru. Passes it over. This is 10 Dawn turn, so is he going to be playing the 10 cost Kuzan? And he is. Yes, he is. He says choose one of the brand news, and then uses the Garp effect to KO another one of the brand news, trashing another 10 cost. But yeah, I like Kuzan here, but it is pretty easily dealt with the Mihawk. So Mihawk is going to get that out of here, and then we'll just see a 5k swing into life. Does choose to take this one and then passes it over. Mihawk can be dealt with fairly easily as well if he does have like Ice Age, potentially Rebecca to pick up that Hina, and then using Garp effect. Garp has been gaining a lot of value, but sadly it is, you know, lowering a lot of the hand size that he's had. Now we'll just see a 7k swing coming from Garp here. Does counter out with a 2k and a 1k. Plays another Bartolomeo blocker. Is, you know, very defensive here, and keeping that Garp in kind of in the backfield, just like doing its thing. It's like, all right, yeah, man, we are good. But now with both players, you know, kind of at this is like where Sakazuki mirror matches kind of become pretty interesting, is having both players slowly dwindling down on resources and running out of removal, potentially like blockers to put down on the field. It is a very, very interesting how this ends up working out in the end. But we do see a 7 cost Borsellino getting down the Garp, because the Sakazuki more than likely lowered the Garp to 4 there. And then we'll see a 5k swing coming in with brand new. Unfortunately has to trash a Borsellino to get out of that attack. He didn't want to waste a block. But it is what it is. Now Kuzan can be pretty helpful here, but it really depends. I think if Kuzan has or excuse me, if, you know, Kyle on the right does end up having like Ice Age or something, it would go really hard, because you'd be able to like bottom deck Borsellino and then use Hound Blaze to get you know, up high enough to where you can use leader to KO Mihawk as well, and then you've gotten rid of both big bodies on the board and have 2 blockers established. It'd be pretty useful right there. But uses Hina, or excuse me, uses Rebecca to pick up Hina. Unfortunately, having to trash the Manshuri. Does bring Mihawk down to, I believe, a 1 cost now, and is going to rest 2 for Houndblaze, though. Gets rid of the Mihawk. And I thought this was interesting because I felt like I think he ended up mentioning it afterwards. You could have done exactly that, but on Borsalino, and then pumping up your leader high enough to go for the Mihawk swing. It is you know, I wouldn't say a bit of a gamble per se, but it is because you have so many blockers established. But it is, you know, like with how many cards he had in hand, there is the opportunity that that just doesn't work. But we'll see a minus 2k going to Bartolomeo here. And now he'll use Houndblaze to bottom deck the Bartolomeo, keeping leader at 8k right now, though. Does play 2 to get Manshuri out, returning 2 cards to the bottom of the deck, and then picks up a Kobe. I thought this this end process was really nice. I loved this. So we had Kobe, which is going to KO the Bartolomeo, trashing a Borsalino, and now with 2 cards in hand and no life, he's able to attach 1 to Borsalino, swing 9, and then attach 1 to leader and swing 9 again. And that will do it. That'll be game. But solid matches overall. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you want to let me know your thoughts down below, I always appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.